All right, it's getting surreal now. Got drafted.
All right, Dwayne Haskins signing his rookie deal yesterday. Kyler Murray also signed his rookie deal. Both the first-round quarterbacks, both taken in the top 15, under contract, ready to go. Time for some PFT props between Kyler Murray and Dwayne Haskins, Big Cat. Which guy throws more touchdown passes this year, Murray or Haskins?
I'm going to go with Murray just because, the Cliff Kingsbury offense, I think Murray will start week one. If I had to guess, I'd say Dwayne Haskins also will start week one, but there's at least a little bit more of a question mark there. Whereas Kyler Murray, if he doesn't start week one, the Cardinals might be the dumbest organization in the entire world, which I'm not putting it past them. But I would say Kyler Murray more touchdowns than Dwayne Haskins in 2019.
Yeah, I really do think Case Keenum has a legitimate shot at winning the job if it's a fair competition week one, because Haskins only played 1 year of college football. He's raw still. Now, that same knock is on Kyler Murray, but if you're the first overall pick, how are you not the week one starter? How, in this day and age, how can you not put that guy under center right away? And the Cardinals' backup is Brett Hundley. I think Kyler Murray should be able to beat him out easily. And you're right, the offense is going to be more aggressive from a passing standpoint. I think that Kyler Murray will have more touchdown passes, although Haskins had 50 last year at Ohio State. And that would be, regardless of records or anything else, if Haskins ended up with more touchdown passes this year than Kyler Murray, that's something that I think we'd be talking about come January. But I'd be shocked at this point if Murray doesn't have, and I don't know what the over-under. I think we've talked about the over-under before with Murray, like 27, 20, I don't know, 23. How many do you think Murray's going to have?
Well, 27 was Baker Mayfield's record. I would say he's probably going to have 23. I don't know, 23 seems like the right amount. But it really, back to the point about starting Kyler Murray versus Dwayne Haskins possibly being the backup to start the season, the Cardinals have to start Kyler Murray. You traded your first-round pick last year. You got a coach who was he was a very average Big 12 coach. You made him the head coach where he was probably going to be an offensive coordinator for USC before that. And then you drafted Kyler Murray. You have to start him week one. You have to start him negative week one. He has to play every single preseason game. Kyler Murray is your franchise at this point. He's got to be the guy going forward every single week.
Like you said, unless they completely and totally screw it up, he will be the week one starter. And with the Cardinals, we can't rule out anything at this point. And that's not unfair criticism. That is deserved and earned based upon recent years in Arizona. All right. More likely to play in 2020, not 2019, 2020, Rob Gronkowski or Telvin Smith?
I'm going to actually say Telvin Smith here, and here's why. Because Rob Gronkowski, I think, will play this year. I think he will do the will he play, won't he play for the first couple months. I think he will come back sometime around November, and then I think he'll retire again. I think that will be finally it. I think there's a little bit of football left in him. It felt like, even right after he retired, you had his agent coming out and saying, Rob might come back. He might come back. And so I think he will play this season and then retire again and finally be completely gone from football in 2020.
Yeah, I think he is going to milk this 2019 for everything that it's worth. My concern would be for 2019, does Bill Belichick even want to bring him back? Would he do something like that? Would he welcome a guy back onto a team that already has been working and fighting and striving week in and week out? Doesn't that disrupt the whole Patriot way when you just welcome back a prodigal son in late November, early December? But you know what? If they have needs and the experiment at tight end with Austin Seferian-Jenkins and Ben Watson isn't working, then maybe you do it. But I agree with you. Telvin Smith more likely to play in 2020. If Gronk plays 2019, it won't be something he does every year where he shows up in late November. He can do that one time, and at some point he's got to move on with whatever this post-football career is going to be, acting or just being Gronk in various possible scenarios and settings. All right, a couple of pass rushers who are changing. What?
Stop. What you just said, what's the difference? Acting or being Gronk? I think those are the same thing.
But you know what? Did you see him on the Billboard Music Awards as a security guard,
I don't
playing
think
Gronk as a security guard?
I don't think he acts. I think he just is Gronk. That's the beauty of Gronk. He can go be a wrestler. He can go be an actor, but he doesn't have to do any of it. He just has to be Gronk.
But I noticed a craft starting to emerge as he really became that security guard in that ridiculous, god-awful sketch from the Billboard Music Awards. I feel like maybe he's taking a class, doing a little workshopping. I think that he's committed to it. I think that he may be on his way. He may be holding an Oscar before it's all said and done.
Mike Florio high on Rob Gronkowski's acting career. I never thought I would say that. I also didn't think you'd watch the Billboard Music Awards. But hey, listen, now I have Rob Gronkowski up there with Marlon Brando, Al Pacino. He's probably going to win, I don't know, 3-4 Oscars easily.
We talked earlier about the Kevin Malone, John Mellencamp, 10,000 to 1 odds if he ever wins an Oscar. What would they be for Gronk? $1 million to 1? 10 million to 1?
Yeah, I think they're off the board. Infinity to 1. Yes.
All right. Yes. Who's got the more sacks in 2019? Former Seahawk Frank Clark, who's now with the Chiefs, or former Lion Ziggy Ansah, who's now with the Seahawks?
I'm going to go with Frank Clark, and we were just talking about the Kyler Murray, Dwayne Haskins, what type of offense. I think this part plays a part in the equation here. The Chiefs are going to still be an explosive offense. I would imagine they're going to play a lot of games from ahead. That obviously equals, the teams trying to come back in the game, drop back passes, getting sacks. I think Frank Clark will be in a better position, whereas the Seahawks, you see Doug Baldwin's gone. I think they're going to have to grind out games a little bit more, and teams will be able to run the ball a little bit more on them. So I'm going to say Frank Clark in this.
Yeah, there's questions about Ziggy Ansah's health as well. Will he be ready to go week 1? Will it take some time until he's up to speed in the regular season? I just think Frank Clark at this point, better player. He's proven more, he's done more, and he's shown that he can stay healthy. And if you can't stay healthy, you can't get sacks. All right, a lot of talk about the Browns becoming the Patriots this week. Which number is bigger this year? Browns wins or Patriots losses?
I'm going with Browns wins. I think it would be listen, the Browns are going to be on the hype train. Everyone wants the Browns to be good. The whole story of last year with Baker Mayfield and overcoming, the coach getting fired and all this stuff, they are a darling story. I think everyone, if you have even like a little bit of a beating heart in your chest, and you're not a Steelers, Ravens, or Bengals fan, there's a small part of you that's rooting for the Cleveland Browns this year, right? So I think they will end up being good. Not great, but good. And the Patriots, I don't know. I feel like you can pencil the Patriots in for the same, somewhere between 13-3 and 11-5, and give me the Browns at somewhere between 7 and 9 wins.
I look at the Browns' schedule, and I factor in the expectations. And we talked earlier about how, all this talk, all this hype would make what they did last year a disappointment this year. 2-4-1 through 7 games. Hey, we're doing great. Let's have a parade. 2-4-1 this year. Oh, my God, what the hell's going on? And, I think the Titans, I look at that game because people are going to assume the Browns are going to win that game by 50. And Mike Vrabel is going to have the Titans lathered up and ready to go. The thing about the Titans, they play well against really good teams, and then they stub their toe against a team they should beat. I would not be surprised if the Titans give the Browns everything they can handle week 1 and stun them. They're going to be thinking, hey, this is our 1AA opponent to start the season. They could lose that game. Then it's Monday night. The Jets have a chance to prove to everyone that they shouldn't be overlooked. I mean, if the Browns start losing games early, it could fall apart. That's why you don't want your players, you don't want anyone anywhere connected to the organization to be talking about how good the team's going to be, because it puts so much pressure on getting the season off to a good start. We've seen this time and again. If you don't get off to a good start, it can fall apart. And I look at those first 2 games. If they come out of those first 2 games 1-1 or worse, all of a sudden there's going to be a lot of nervous people in Cleveland, where they should be thrilled that they're 1-1 through 2 games, but that's not what's going to be good enough this year, because all of a sudden we've got them penciled in for division champions and possible Super Bowl representative.
Yeah, the expectations have put them a level above the Titans and Jets when they probably don't deserve to be there until they prove it. You are right. Week 1, there's always one. There's always one, usually 2, random games where you think you know these teams and you're completely blindsided by it. Remember, Jim Tomsula, he beat those, wasn't that against the Vikings on Monday Night Football? And I think the 49ers won maybe 1 or 2 more games after that. Week 1 is that weird week where you just think you have a read on these teams, and you think what you saw last year is going to be the same. Listen, I know from experience, because I always lose a ton of money week 1. So you're right. Circle that game. The Titans might be able to, be a live underdog there, and the Browns would be saying, hey, how did we just lose to the Titans? I thought we were the Patriots.
Yeah, and it can all just go south so quickly, and Freddie Kitchens is going to be the guy who gets all the blame if that happens. We're going to take a break.
Hi, I'm Mike Tirico, and thanks for watching. Make sure to hit subscribe for the latest news and highlights from NBC Sports.